Well, Cage, big weekend of footy. It's come down to your favourite team, Collingwood, of course. You can't wait for them to meet St Kilda.
Gosh.
Collingwood over Geelong by 21 points. Just blitzed them in the first quarter, Cage.
Well, they did, and to think at one stage of the game they led by 80-odd points. Collingwood was just unbelievable. They were far too good for Geelong. Geelong now have got a lot of rethinking to do. I think some of their players have come towards the end of their careers. I think you'll find there'll be some changes made within the Geelong Football Club without panicking. But I think their window now to a premiership in the next couple, 3 years is gone. Collingwood certainly are the trendsetters, and well, they've got the beautiful ride into the grand final now, General. No doubt about that.
All right, St Kilda up against the Doggies. They got them by 24 points. At half time, it was pretty close. Can you see St Kilda in any way being able to beat Collingwood?
Well, they can beat them, but they're better players. Their midfield has to play at their absolute best. Because Rewalt, as we saw in the third quarter against the Doggies, if he's on fire, if he's on song, can destroy you. And if they're on ball up midfield, Lenny Hayes and those blokes can get enough of the agate and give it to Rewalt nice and clean, then they could hurt Collingwood. But you'd have to say what we saw at the weekend, Collingwood start red-hot favourites.
All right, this season, St Kilda back in round 3 beat Collingwood by 28 points. And then in round 16, it was reversed. Collingwood got St Kilda by 48 points. So probably can't read too much into that, except that round 3 was when Rewalt did his hamstring in that game. St Kilda then won 8 of 11 of those games without Rewalt. If Rewalt doesn't fire, St Kilda can't win,
Well, they can't, but as I said, he has to be given the ball by his midfielders and on ballers. But the other thing against St Kilda is the fact they'll go into the game with a couple of doubtful players through injury, and Dal Santo is the one. Graham's a very good player coming off the half-back flank, but Dal Santo is a good line breaker, if you like. So that's another reason why it all points to bloody Collingwood.
All right, I've got 2 players I want to ask you about, Cage. Friday, 25th of June, round 13. That was the last time that Stevie Baker played. Obviously, injuries and suspensions. Would you play him?
I wouldn't play him, but St Kilda will play him. That's the message coming out of Melbourne, that they'll bring that hard man in. If they do, then I'll bet my bottom socks that Collingwood will run him around, because he is going to be short of match fitness. Grand final, it's hard, tough affair. It's a huge gamble, but I think St Kilda will play him.
All right, the one for Collingwood, Prestigiacomo, hasn't played since round 20 when he went into hospital with that bleeding cork thigh. In or out?
I wouldn't play him, simply because why would you? Collingwood played magnificently against Geelong. They're playing great football. They've had a wonderful preparation. Why would you change your winning combination? No, I wouldn't change it.
All right, let's have a quick look at the SANFL, Cage. The Eagles defeated Glenelg by 38 points. So there's a bit of talk now about Mark Micken. He's got a year to go on his contract.
Yes, he has.
Just a couple of quick stats for you, Cage. He took over in 2006. They didn't make the final that year, but in his last 4 years, they've been in the finals every time. Before he took over, they hadn't had an appearance in 10 years. So does he deserve a little bit of leeway in the fact that, all right, he's got them there and they haven't gone that next step, and people will start going, well, he's only won 2 finals in the last 4 years, not good enough. Do they need to be patient with him?
Well, they need to give him a bit of slack. He's done a great job, as you've mentioned, getting the Tigers into the finals. Questions have to be asked, no doubt will be asked. They've gone out in straight sets. Last year they finished line of premiers. This year they finished second to top to the Bulldogs. Both years they've gone out in straight sets. And the disappointing part this year was the fact that the Eagles belted them in the last quarter, kicked 6 goals to 1. And hey, that's not a good sign. And hey, look, those questions won't go unanswered, I can tell you, but he should be given some slack here.
Well, does it really matter? Central's got Norwood by 18 points. Is anyone going to stop Central's, Cage?
It's a funny game, footy. Again, you know, the Bulldogs have had the charm run into the finals. Everything points to the Bulldogs. But I don't mind Norwood. I don't mind Norwood at all. I think if they get a second bite of the apple at the Bulldogs, don't be surprised they frighten the life out of them, General. But then again, I'm a very poor judge.